Hey guys, Dewy here. I just want to thank all of you for watching, and I hope you and your Easter goes very well and has a very nice day today. And before I start the tour, I have an excellent surprise that I'm really excited to tell you guys about. Please smack that like button and comment and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I hope you all enjoy, and if you guys hear any noise in the background, that is my mom or my dogs. Let's get into it. I have hidden 4 items you wouldn't expect to find. They're eggs if you haven't already figured it out. Pick which color you want. They each have a different color and animal inside. Click the little I button on the top right corner of this video to vote. Their locations have nothing to do with the animal name inside. Whichever one has the most votes wins, and I will buy 5 of those animals to put into Dew Haven for you guys. So that kind of gave a little bit of it away. So you guys will be seeing eggs around Dew Haven, and Dew Haven is it's a rescue center for animals in need. And sorry if the lighting is really bad. It's just my room. So yeah, I'm gonna go take care of my dogs, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, the dogs are taken care of. I just shoved them outside. Not literally shoved, but I think you guys get it. So give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'll start off with our giraffe pin, and I haven't been collecting for a while. I've always had the zebra, and I've had the deer for a while. I got those for my birthday. And I've had the little baby alligator for a while, and the baby alligator is not Schleich. And I have 2 animals that are Papo. So yeah, this is going to be a Schleich and Papo wildlife tour of my wildlife reserve. So first off, I have my little book with all the names. And first off, we are going to start off with this big boy right here. This is the adult male. His name is Nadir, and he is 6 years old. He was in the wild when he broke this leg and couldn't move. So they don't know exactly how he broke his leg, but they asked us to rescue him, to shelter him for a while, and then we did, and now he kind of walks funny. So they couldn't release him out into the wild. And the bigger one is the adult female. Her name is Nimse, and she is 3 years old. She was born in captivity, and she would have been euthanized because they weren't supposed to have any calves. They were supposed to be spayed. And her mom ended up having a calf, so they would have had to euthanize her, so we offered him to take her. And this is her foal, Naru. He was born by Nimse, and he just kind of lived here, and he will stay here for the rest of his life, since he is not grown into the wild. And way over here, we have the reticulated giraffe from Papo, and she is, she was rescued. She's an orphan, and her mother died giving birth, so she had to stay here. They were just gonna, let her die and just have to eat hay, and she would probably have starved because, again, she was rescued whenever she was an itty-bitty baby, and she's 11 months old, and I forgot to tell you that he is 5 months old. Naru is. And yeah. So I think I'm going to work my way left, which is right over here to the zebras. And the adult female is Desiree, which she is named after the desert, the Gobi Desert, actually. And instead of Desiree, a lot of people just call her Gobi. And she is a 2-year-old female. And yeah, she was... the zoo that she was in was shut down because they were wrongfully putting animals in a place that they didn't belong. Like, say they had penguins out in the open with no snow. Or they had, giraffes in freezing cold temperatures. And that's not what those animals were built for. So the zoo shut down for putting them in the wrong environment. And she was pregnant whenever this happened, and her little foal's name is Zariah, and she is 5 months old. Yeah. And this is their little pen, and I have water there that they can drink from the inside and outside, and a little food trough. And I forgot to tell you that giraffe feeder is, I just put a skewer hot glued to a lid, and I sandwiched 2 popsicle sticks, cut them to the right length, and just put a feeder from the Schleich horse barn on it, and it works perfectly fine. And I think I'll work our way over here to the deer. And I'm just going to give you a little quick overview. So we have here, we have the trailer, which has like a little bunny hut and a fence. We have the deer and their little shelter that I got from the jumping set. So this is where we keep the nursery, and there's a cage there for larger animals, like, say, carnivores, and this is our deer pen, and this is Buck. It's on the next page. This is Buck, and he, hang on, I need to find it. I'm bad. Okay, so his name is Buck. He is a 2-year-old male. And then the female, if I can reach her, her name is Willow, and she is 2 years old. And they were both rescued from a national park. And then they became a mated pair. Oh, my finger. And then they became a mated pair. Whoops. She gave birth to Bambi, which is a 3-month-old calf, or foal. What are you going to call that? Oh no, they're all falling now. And they have like a little trough thing. They don't have any water right now because, well, let's just say that it's being refilled right now by a caretaker. And right in there is our male timber wolf, and he is a 1-year-old timber wolf, and his name is Butch. And Butch was rescued from, he was born in captivity, and his mom, and he had like really bad aggression towards other wolves, and so he grew up with Fern, and she is a 3-year-old female, and she was 1 at the time whenever he was born. And they were kind of like best friends, and we're hoping for him to breed with Fern. So they will have a timber wolf and Arctic wolf cross. And that's what Fern is. She's an Arctic wolf and timber cross. And Miss Fern over here, she was rescued in another reserve, but it was kind of like a zoo where they rescued animals, but they put them out for people to see. And she was a cross, and she wasn't full-blood Arctic or timber wolf. So they were not allowed to put her in public, so they were going to euthanize her. And then we decided to keep her. So, yes. And we have a permit saying that we can show her. And so now I'm just going to go to the tigers. And this is a little box enclosure. It's not very much. You have like a log, some bedding. We don't have very much bedding in here because, well, tigers aren't used to very much bedding. They're used to grass. So, yeah. Back there, let's see where my finger is. Back right there. His name is Poke. He is a male and he is 5 months old. And right here is his sister, Panda. And Panda, too, is 5 months old, but she is a female. And right there is their mom, Shasta, and she is a 4-year-old female, and we rescued her while she was pregnant with her kits. We rescued her from she was being kept illegally. She was sold on the black market as a cub, and her mother was killed by poachers, and I don't know what that was. But her mother was killed by poachers, and they just kind of kept her in a trailer about this size. And they just kept her on a trailer, and she was very isolated. She didn't have very much human or animal contact. And so she was isolated for 3 years. She was about a year old whenever they, like, I seriously have no idea what that is. But she was, for 3 years, she was isolated, and then on the 4th year, she spent with us. And then this young 2-year-old male, his name is Talon, and he was rescued from a zoo overflow. Him and his mate were both rescued in the wild from poachers. And he's just kind of a solo male that they just keep in here because he gets a little lonely in there and the door opens. So, yeah. And I will just give you guys a little overview. We have gone over so far. We have the zebras. We have the giraffes. We have the, more giraffes. We have the nursery. We have the deer, and then we have the wolves. And then the tigers. And now I have to get up to walk over here. Hate getting up. Oh no. Okay, so my room is like really messy right now. I have pillows all over the ground. Oh no, we have a baby that has fallen. And another baby that has fallen. Okay, we're all better now. So we'll go to the foxes. This is Dixie, and she is a 3-year-old female. She and her kits were rescued a couple months ago from deforestation. Their habitat was being cut down to build a resort there. And so a worker found them while they were digging a hole, and he came across their den. And they didn't want to hurt them, so the guy called us, and we came and picked them up as soon as possible. And they have some water there, they have food, they have a little den. And over here, we have our goats. It's goat feed, water. This is Merryweather. She is a 3-year-old, she's a 3-year-old goat. Don't know what breed of goat. I think I'm going to call her like a Norwegian goat because I like those goats, even though she looks nothing like a Norwegian goat. And her name is Merryweather, and this is her foal, I think. And his name is Cotton. And he is about a month old. He's very, very athletic, and his mom's like, "Get down!" And over here we have the beavers. Right there they have a little fruit pan filled with apples. They have regular food, and then they have water. And then they have this little chain, and they have this, oh wait, that's not the door, never mind. It's part of their exhibit. They have plenty of wood in there, and over here is our 2-year-old female. She just turned 2, and her name is Maple. And then right here we have Birch, and if you give me a second, then I'll show you what I do with him, and he's really cute whenever he does it. See, look guys, now he's holding a piece of wood and eating it. And it is so cute. See, look how cute that is. And he is a Papo beaver. He is not Schleich. He is Papo. And she is Schleich, though. And I do have 2 of these kits, fox kits. And I just colored on Ace, which is the male, with darker feet. And I just colored on him and made him darker so I could tell him and his sister apart. He has darker ears, he has darker paws. I didn't do anything to anything else. And her paws are just, like, looks like they have sit on him. And his is, like, painted. But it's with a Sharpie. That's what I have on my hands. It's a Sharpie. And so his sister's name is Nona. And she's the more jumpy one. And he's the more cautious one. And you would suspect it to be the other way around. So this is gonna be around 15 minutes because this is our last thing. So there's the beaver, foxes, goats, and then here we have our little rainbow-colored alligator. His name is Edward, and he is a 3-month-old alligator. He's not Schleich. He's just here, and I really love him. And that white thing goes to the trailer. It's the middle slot for the trailer right there. It goes down the middle to separate it. And we're using it as a heating pad for him to make the water warm. And this is actual water. Like, it's actual water. See, it moves. Now my finger's wet. And so, yeah, he just likes to stay in his little pool. And then we have, like, a little heating. It's like a barrel, but it's clear. And I saw this after the actual TV show. It's called Yankee Jungle, and this is what this is based off after. And they have, like, they make a barrel, and then they put clear stuff. Like, they clean it out, and then they put glass around it, acrylic glass. And then they put sand in there, and then there's a heating pad underneath the sand. And so it's like it keeps the warm air in here. So if it's ever, like, raining, or if he just is really cold, and then he can go in there. It's kind of like sunbathing. And then he has a little log in there, and a kinetic sand.